Baldur's Gate 3 is the all-new RPG from Larian Studios, makers of the excellent Divinity games. If you're a gamer and you haven't at least heard of this, you must have spent the last month under a rock. Possibly eclipsing even Starfield for hype, well, at least for a while. Baldur's features everything from big open maps to multiple classes. There are seemingly endless ways to accomplish each quest, and of course the big talking point, personal relations. So to get you started in that big Dungeons and Dragons-y world, here are 5 tips I've jotted down to help you out in your first handful of hours. Just little things that aren't well explored or explained and that you may just want to know before you start out. Coming in at number 5 is the ability to change spell on the fly. Bring up your spellbook, and on PC this is the K key, then simply click a prepared spell to remove it, then an unprepared spell to add it. This can be done at any time outside of combat, though there are a few restrictions. It works fine for mages and clerics, but sorcerers can only change the available spells when they level up, so choose wisely. At number 4 we have spell types. This is a simple one, and the concept of action and bonus action is pretty well explained in the tutorial text. However, it bears pointing out that some spells, particularly cleric at low levels, are bonus actions and so won't take your full turn of actions to cast. These are things like Shield of Faith, Healing Word, and Spiritual Weapons. Super helpful in the early battles where every action and every turn is absolute gold. Over at number 3, and I promise it's the last spell casting tip, but they're so damn useful in the beginning that it was worth mentioning each one separately. This little tidbit involves adding new spells to your spellbook, but only applies to traditional wizards, not sorcerers or warlocks, or clerics, who all learn spells differently. On your spellbook there is a little Add New button that allows you to select a spell and scribe it into your book for future use. It costs a little gold, but you should absolutely be doing this regularly, as well as remaining on the lookout for new magic arcane scrolls to buy, loot, or steal. Number 2. We're almost there. Box stacking. If you've right-clicked on any item in the game, you'll know Baldur's Gate 3 has a context menu system. If you've clicked on a box, you may even realise you can climb on them. And finally, if you've played any number of puzzle games in the past, you'll know that stacking boxes can get you to otherwise inaccessible areas. It's a trick as old as time. I remember doing it in Ultima 7 to reach the cheat room. However, in Baldur's Gate you may not know that it's possible to do a straight vertical stack and climb right up rather than creating an escalating series of stacks. It really short circuits the time required to stack and explore, and you can even drag the entire stack if it isn't in quite the right position. Happy stacking! Number 1, and this was a tricky one. There are a number of little bits and pieces I found useful that saved time or that made me laugh, but this is the simplest yet most useful tip that saved me a lot of time when I'm trying to do my inventory managing. And that of course is multi-select. Yep, much like in a file explorer, you can hold down shift to select a sequential range of inventory items, or hold down control to select any number of disparate items. You can then drag or right click these items, and this is particularly useful when you're trying to mark items as wares, so they can be more easily sold as a chunk at shops. Whoa, bonus tip action turbo round! Okay, here are all the little bits and pieces I jotted down that probably don't need their own tips. First up is Camp Clothes Cosmetics, and to be honest I'm going to have to get really good with the pixelation option here. There's a little Camp Clothes option in the top right corner of the inventory that lets you swap to a cosmetic set of clothing or armour if you prefer the look of that. So this is also the armour that you wear around as leisure wear when you're in camp, both after you end the day, during some events, and when you sleep. Yep, so you can set this to nothing and wander around camp naked. But not only that, have all the other party members do that when you're not even controlling them, which can lead to some very amusing, not safe for work moments in the camp dialogue. This is especially so when a crowd gathers to listen in and you have them all standing around in the background. Or maybe it's only me that finds this so amusing. Lastly, and keeping with the camp theme, make sure you speak to all of the people at camp both when you arrive, during special events, and after you click on the end day, because the chat options can differ at night before everyone goes to sleep. Okay, well that's all I have for today. Happy adventuring, and if you found this useful at all, please do the needful and like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you as always, have a great day, Gavor out.